Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, your integration buddy. In today's video tutorial, we will take a look at the new features that have been included in the Anypoint Code Builder as a part of the Feb 14th release. Okay, the first and the very important feature that has been introduced is the component configuration panel in the UI. So we can make use of the component configuration panel in the UI to configure the components, okay, instead of configuring them from the XML configuration file. So this feature is enabled for most of the components, but yes, some of the components like the global configurations, such as the connection configurations, such as those still need to be configured from the XML itself. Maybe in the future releases, MuleSoft enables this configuration panel for those components as well. So we will see this configuration panel in action shortly in the demo. Then the second feature that has been introduced is the configuration XML file creation enhancement. So here now we can create one or more additional configuration XML files within our integration or implementation projects. So we can create the different configuration XML files for interface, for implementation, and for the global configurations. So this will help us to split our complex project code into more manageable pieces. Then we have the integration project creation from templates and examples. So now with this release, whenever you will try to develop an integration, you will be getting two options. Either you want to develop the integration from scratch or from the templates. So here you can you build your integrations on top of the assets or the templates from the Anypoint Exchange. So here you will be able to import the template or example from the Anypoint Exchange into our project. And after it is imported, then you can continue to develop your integration on top of that asset. Then the last feature that has been introduced is the external version control support for the API design phase. So here now you can manage the versions of your API specifications using the external source code management tool such as GitLab or GitHub. Okay, so this feature will encourage the consolidation of projects into a single version control system, and which will simplify the management of API design, integration, and application development. So in this tutorial, we will be exploring the features 1, 2, and 3. The fourth feature, which is the external VCS support for API design, we will explore in the upcoming session. So in our use case, we will be extracting data from MySQL database and loading it into Salesforce. So this will be a lead data that will be loaded into Salesforce. Okay, so to make use of the new features that were released as a part of Feb 14th release, please make sure that your Anypoint extension pack has this version 1.0.7. Okay, so what I did, like to save some time, I already created the connection configurations in the global.xml. So I created a configuration XML, and I created these connections here, the listener connection and the Salesforce connection and the MySQL database connection. And as a best practice, I have made use of the configuration XMLs as well as the secure properties here to store the passwords. So now I'll be creating one more mule configuration file, which I will call as Implementation XML. Okay, so you can see that we can create one or more configuration XML files, and we can make divide our project into more manageable pieces here. Okay, so here I'll be creating a flow, which I will say that db to so you will see that this is the configuration panel which has popped up here. So we can decide what is the initial state. I want to keep this flow as started, just default state, or I wanted it to a stopped state. Okay, and then I can set the max concurrency as well, and I can just rename this flow as well. So just write db-sfdc. Okay, so you see that I made the changes from the configuration panel, and the same changes have reflected in the XML as well. So I'll just click on plus here and just click on type HTTP. I want HTTP listener. So now to configure the HTTP listener, just click it over here, and you see that the configuration panel has appeared, and it is asking me to choose a connector configuration. So I'll just click it over here, and I found that HTTP listener configuration, which I configured in the global.xml. So that has come over here. I'll just click it over here and to select it. So here it's asking for a path. So let's put the path as db and -sftc. Okay, and in the advanced section, you will see that all the things that used to appear in the Anypoint Studio, the same things have been appearing in this Anypoint code builder as well. So we can select what are the methods which are allowed, which are get, post, or put. We can select, we can choose the response streaming mode, output MIME type, streaming strategy, reconnection strategy, response. So everything which we can set from the Anypoint Studio, the same we can set from Anypoint code builder as well. So if I show you the Anypoint Studio, the HTTP listener, you will see over here. So the display name, connector configuration path, MIME type, redelivery, responses, advanced section. So everything which was here like has come up to the Anypoint code builder as well. Because most of the things you will find it over here and configure them. Then I need to make a select query to a database. So I'll just type select, component has appeared. So I just click it over, click here, and select query text. So here we can enable the expression mode, and here we need to choose the connector configuration. So the MySQL database configuration which I have defined in my global XML, so that has come over here. So I selected this configuration here now. Okay. So I just click it over here. So MySQL database configuration. So we can enable the expression mode also like this, but we don't need as of now. So I'll just write select star from context. So context is a table name from where we will read the data to so that it can be then loaded into Salesforce. Okay. So this is the advanced section. Again, we can define the transactions also. Join if possible, always join, not supported. So I'll just leave it to join if possible, which is a default. Then query timeout, query fetch size, max rows, target variable, target value. So you see over here that like the same things which were there in Anypoint Studio, the same you can configure it from the configuration panel of Anypoint code builder. Okay. So yeah, so now let's go ahead, and so once we get the records, we need to uh, do a transformation of those. Okay, so that we can get them into a format that we know that we need to load it into database, into Salesforce. I'll just click on this plus and type here transform. So transform with output JSON. I'll be selecting it over here. Okay, so when I click it over here, you see that on the configuration panel, so these fields have been grayed out. So it means that you have to configure the transform from the XML code itself. So as of today, like you cannot use the configuration panel to configure it. Okay. So yeah, so let's go over here. Again, to save some time, I already have the mapping with me. I'll just copy paste it over here. So I'm extracting the first name, last name, company, and email, and then those will be then loaded into Salesforce. Now I'll just click on plus over plus again here. So I'll just be selecting the create operation for Salesforce. Okay, I'll just click it over here. The connector configuration, Salesforce config, which I have defined in the global XML, that has come up over here. Okay. Yep, here it is, and you can use this this arrow also, like this button also, to test the connection. Okay, let's close this error by creating modeling tooling exception. Okay, let's close it now. Let us see if it causes any issues when I run this project. So here, what one thing I have observed that the type, which was like this type is not loading for this Salesforce create operation over here. So I'll be just be writing this type as lead here. So Okay, because it's the lead data that I need to load into Salesforce. Now see that like the error has gone and the Salesforce create type is set as lead. The records will be a payload, so we'll just leave them as is. Okay. Okay. So then we will be then uh, since there are multiple records, so we need to like loop those all the records. So we need to create a for each loop and put this create operation under that for each loop. I'll just write for each here. Okay, and I'll just cut paste here from here and put it here under the for each. Okay. So you see for each also you can configure what is the collection, which is the payload, the batch size. You can put it as like configure the batch size, and whatever you configure it over here, the same will come in the XML also. The root message variable name, counter variable name, you can all put these over here. Okay. So in the end, I can just define a payload saying that data has been loaded to Salesforce. I'll just data loaded to Salesforce. Okay. So yeah, so I think that's pretty much from our implementation XML file. So let me just show you the records which I will be loading into Salesforce. These are the two records which are present in my context table. Okay, Vikas Sharma and Vicky Sharma. Okay, and I'll just take a look at the Salesforce developer portal and see what is the current lead data that is present over there. Okay, so the total leads which are present are 121. So after we load these two more leads, then the total should become 123. Okay, so let us run this project now. So go to run and start debugging. And one more thing, like guys, I wanted to tell you. So in the runtime, so if I go to this view command palette, AC open ACB settings. So during runtime, I'm passing this encryption key as integration and the development environment as dev, so that the correct configuration files get picked up, like the security configuration file gets picked up using this dev. Okay, and the encryption key which I have used to encrypt the passwords, that is also being provided here. Okay, so these are being passed at the runtime. So now it's getting executed. So let's wait for some time to until this process gets finished. So now you see that like with the help of this configuration, the configuration panel, like I have saved my lot of time to write this implementation XML. Okay, instead of tweaking the XML code, I was just able to get most of the components configured from the configuration panel itself. Okay. Yep, I think now the app is coming up. It will take few seconds more, and then we will just execute it. Yep, its status is deployed now. I'll just go to terminal and open the new terminal. Okay, so here I will use the curl command. Okay, http local host is 881 I used, and the path was db pc. Yep, so I got the response data loaded to Salesforce. So let me just go to the leads section and refresh it. So now I'll be seeing the 123 leads. Yep, now it's 123 leads. So the two leads which I added are Vikas Sharma and Vicky Sharma. So you see these two records added over here. Okay, so yeah, so that's pretty much guys on this configuration panel and the creation of the multiple configuration XML files demo. So now the next demo we'll see on the creation of the integration projects from the templates or examples from the Anypoint Exchange. So what I will do, I'll just close these. Okay, so I'll be just clicking on this development integration. So now you can see that with this latest Anypoint Code Builder release, you will see that like you're getting two options. So uh, you want to develop an integration from scratch, or you want to build it on top of a template or example project from Anypoint Exchange. So I'll just write the name of this project template like demo. Okay, so project location, I'll just keep the default location and I'll just select it, the template or example project. So here it is asking me to select the asset from the name. So here I'm clicked on the show filters so that I can see all the filters over here, tag, type, industry, or any organization. So I'll just type like template. So here you will see that these templates have come up like fusion to service now sync template salesforce to app promo next thing. So all these templates have come up over here. So let's choose any one of these. Let's add this next lane customer template. uh, Template version 1 to API specification has been added. I'll just be creating on this create project. Okay, so now you can see that it's getting downloaded from the Anypoint Exchange, and shortly it will be there in our Visual Studio Code as well. So you see over here, it has been downloaded. It has been now structured as well. So under Mule folder, you will see that the common flows XML, error handling, global XML, interface XML, all these these things have been downloaded from the Anypoint Exchange. So now let me just open the canvas flow also. So I just click on this symbol so that I can see the canvas flow as well. So now canvas flow is coming up. So now advantage of like using this feature is to like you don't need to write the code from scratch. Okay, so you can just like download the examples or the templates from the Anypoint Exchange, and then you can just build your code on top of those example or templates. So I have downloaded this template in this example, and I can just like carry on writing my code on top of this template or example. Okay. Okay, so I think it's quite a big XML, so it will take some time to load the canvas. But yes, guys, you can make use of this feature and save your time to write to write the code basically. Okay. So yeah, guys, so that's what I wanted to cover in this session. So the external VCS support for API design I'll cover up in the next session. So if you like this video, please make sure to subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much, guys, for watching.